Constructed in 1978, the road connecting the areas between what is now Centurion and Krugersdorp has had its fair share of passing motorists. Fast forward 37 years, and it was evident that the neglected stretch of tar commonly known as the N14 was in dire need of rehabilitation.
The road was built around 1978. So it's about 37 years ago, and there was minimal maintenance that was done on the road over the years.
So substantially this road was in dire need for definitely a rejuvenation and overlay, but there was already some structural damages that had to be repaired, and hence it became a rehab job.
The rehabilitation is for approximately 40 kilometers, which is 20 kilometers to Krugersdorp, 20 kilometers to Diepsloot.
If the road is of national importance, you cannot afford to have pavement defects such as your potholes, your rutting, a rough riding quality.
By making use of a combination of both machinery and manual labor in the rehabilitation of the N14, certain aspects such as the upgrading of the stormwater draining system saw job opportunities created for hundreds of low-skilled community members in the surrounding neighborhoods.
This being a rehab job, it is fairly skilled, so the opportunity of creating many jobs was limited. But at the moment we are employing a total of, I think, around plus minus 360 people, of which around 188 comes from the local community.
The local people have been sourced from Diepsloot. That's Wat 96, they normally call it Skierlek. We've got Wat 33, they normally call it Juslovo. Wat 23, they normally call it Rietfontein Village or Meldesdrift.
Before ngiqala ukusebenza N14 bengisebenza phansi kwecompany abayibiza ukuthi i-CWP ngoba besisebenza nje only 2 days. Kwathi uma kuvela le thuba leli lokusebenza la endleleni ngaba umunye kulo mphakathi engihlala kiwo oye wakhethwa ukuthi uzosebenza la N14.
Lumnyaka wa6 ngila hayi siyaphusha umsebenzi siyasebenza siyahola kuphela kwenyanga ngasho njalo nje
dikgona la go didirela ntho engwe le engwe mo ga bona tšhelete ke ikhumanago ke bona ke bona go nkare ke bona survive ka gore ke gona go didirela something e ke nyaka ka gore every month ke gona go khumana tšhelete.
Work experience is a challenge many young graduates face. By granting internships to sustainably qualified graduates and students, the rehabilitation of the N14 has given many young people the opportunity to obtain work experience.
I'm an intern, I'm a trainee in civil engineering from the Department of Roads and Transport. It's a great opportunity for me to be here on a transport, which means now I've got what I always wanted. And with this training, it means I can be able to apply for posts regarding to transportation engineering. Then I'll be able to pursue my career on that.
The continuation of initiatives such as this is paramount if South Africa's pool of young people who are economically active is to grow.
For them to give us this opportunity is not just a thing, it's really helping, because as for us, you'll never graduate without this opportunity. So if it was not for them who were willing to give us this opportunity, I will finish my subject and still stay at home without the qualification. So I like to think that they are doing a great job. Even to students who are still at school, if this can continue to help a lot of people.
The construction sector is slowly transforming, largely due to legislation passed and compliance of the private sector, with local subcontracting being top of the agenda for the N14 rehabilitation project.
We are appointing locally. That means subcontracting. It is a requirement of the project that around 40% of the total contract sum is afforded to local businesses.
Here at N14, I'm casting concrete. I'm doing the V-drain. Sometimes you lay paving. So yeah, it's not all the time whereby you'll find out that you should stick on one thing.
For now, working with Power, I'm a manager or the director of my company, and then here I'm given the opportunity to do the veteran work. I've got about 14 employees. I'm residing in Diepsloot, and the people that I'm hired, they stay here in Diepsloot, meaning that I can say I've accommodated about 14 families.
With the sector slowly becoming inclusive, initiatives such as this allow new entrants such as Gloria, who in 2008 swapped her syringe for a shovel to become a player in the construction industry.
I was an auxiliary nurse, so I was involved in an accident of which they told me that I wouldn't work anymore. But then I told myself this is not going to work. At N14 village there was this company that was coming to construct the roads at N14 village. So I went there, I got the job as the safety officer. From the safety officer, that's when I developed the love for construction. And then I started asking questions. I started writing notes down. Then from there, I got a subcontractor there, and then from the subcontractor, I started tendering.
With an inquisitive mind and zest to thrive, Gloria made the most of her time as a safety officer on an earlier project where she learned about the various links in the construction value chain.
Then they told me how to do it. That's when I went. They even directed me to the quotation board at Mogale City. Then that's when I bought the tender document for the first time. I tendered, not knowing nothing about the tender document, but I managed to do it, and then I got the tender here, of which it was for 3 years. Then since then, I've been working with Mogale City since then.
The women involved in the N14 rehabilitation project have gained and imparted numerous insight on the construction industry. Most important being the fact that while the returns of a job well done are rewarding, the industry is not for the faint-hearted.
They mustn't come in this field as to say is a man-dominated field. They must have the passion. They must have the love of what they are going to do.
This industry that I'm on now, a lot of women, they are afraid to challenge this because it's not Tom, Dick and Harry, not like all the women who can stand and do what we are doing. To cast concrete is not an easy job.
And the project is ongoing. We are hoping that we are still going to employ more people, and we are going to still need more subcontractors.
People living with disabilities also made up the workforce in this Sihamba Sonke initiative of rehabilitating the N14 road.
Lana ngathola ngoba bafika maybe like endaweni lapho esihlala khona, but bafuna la iproject khona iproject lela evuliwe, bafuna umuntu odisable. Ngawuthola kanjalo kumsebenzi wangapha, beza straight bazongilanda endlini.
Ngikeni more because of ka CNO ba re bana ka motho wa disability go power construction, so ibe ba mfonela, so ibe kitla sida, so ba ka kena more.
Lena ngcono ba ngithola every month isarali, ngiyakhona ukunceda lo usongale nalo ngapha, ngiyakhona ukumnceda umntwana nasendlini khona isake lingenayo ngoba baba kasekho.
I've got my sisters and my brothers kabathusha, so actually ba lebeletse nna, I'm a breadwinner. Mola ke tsanang mo Power, life ya ka no improve le ka gae, at least khono builda ntlo raba sharp.
Ngadlulisa nje ukubonga nokuthi nabanye abantu abafana nami abangayanga esikoleni at least babancede bathola umsebenzi njengoba nami ngotholile okli.
Ke rata le ba government e khono re fa di opportunity tsa re le rena batho ba di disability re tshwana le batho ba bangwe, re tshwana le motho mo lo mongwe.
Beneficiaries of the project have sung praises and expressed their wishes for the continuance of initiatives such as the N14 rehabilitation.
Ngizakolisa ukubonga kakhulu uMinister kule nto ayenzile ngoba umndeni wami sokwazi ukulala udlile manje.
The department and the government usually put women first, and thank you to the department and thank you to the government for giving us this opportunity.
Ngabekwa nje asiphathane kahle nje izingadlulisi manje kuhle umsebenzini siphathane kahle yabona ke nakubona ke nebekhipha imisebenzi singabonga yabona singahlali yabona singasebenzi.
I appreciate what they've done to us, And then in the near future, they mustn't look down to women. As they can see up to so far, we are capable of doing things more than what men maybe I can say they can do.
Citing the N14 rehabilitation project, the Department of Transport has acknowledged that there is indeed room for continuous improvement through combined efforts of all stakeholders involved and affected.
We are training the labor on the concrete works and how to use the hand tools. We are hoping that when we finish, they'll have that skills and they can use it on other projects, because the road network is big. We still have more projects that are upcoming.
We are not fully capacitated as a department. We still have vacancies in the structure where we need suitably qualified people to play that role to manage our capital projects and maintenance projects.
Sihamba Sonke, unlocking economic potential for local communities.